edition. Now we gonna do a little something a tad bit different right now. Leo's still in the building. Got about one or two videos left dealing with her in particular. But today's St. Patty's Day or St. Tupac's Day. But funny how all these things come back around, because we can't call it St. Patty's Day or St. Patrick's Day in honor of my boy Fat Pat. Shout out to Fat Patrick. Now, when you go deal with the Hindu deities, you got Garuda. Garuda has a son named Sampati. It's funny because when I say I was reading that one day, I got a picture of Fat Pat. There was a picture, an airbrush picture from our teen club days. And, one of my homies was on one side, one of my homies was on the other side, and I'm in the middle. And Fat Pat is sitting, the picture of Fat Pat is like sitting right over me. Like I don't know if them guys want to be, I might have covered them up. I don't know if they want to be on the camera like that. So, but I had read, the funny guy, I had came across that deity before. Then one day I was reading it. As soon as I finished reading, I looked up, and the first thing I seen was the picture of, it was under my table right here. And then I made a beat called Tap. That's that Gregory Hines, Sammy Davis Jr. energy as well. But Tap backwards is Pat. Now sometimes this is not always the case. But take APAP for example. APAP is like I said, it's a condition, poverty or negation or trial or whatever. But if you spell it backwards, it's let me pull the pen out. Yeah, but you spell it backwards, it's Papa. Now Papa is of course we know his father over here. You go both ways, the father deity, but then in some mythologies it's a feminine deity. So sometimes, not all the time though, because sometimes you can spell some shit backwards and it won't necessarily fall under something that would be considered negative or bad or whatever, but sometimes you can reverse it. So you take so Papa, reverse it backwards would be like the evil version of it to a certain degree. That ain't always the case though. Cause I take my name is Sam, for short for Samuel. Samuel, Sam, U star, Sam, U God, L star. But Young Parker Lou, Louis P, that's one of my other monikers. Parker Lou. My 90s nigga know what that means. Groovy Lou, Louis P. Louis P. Parker. Big Parker Society. Big Parker, Foreign West Star. But, so I just found it interesting. But Tap, you spell it backwards, Pat. And I had the picture, one day I was making a beat, when I was making the Tap beat, those shit, like, it's genius the way I kind of did this shit, but I have to explain it to you, let you hear it. But I was making the beat, I had to pit. Now I'm not aware of this, I'm not thinking about this at all, I'm just making a beat going along with it. And then when I finished making it, I looked up, because first of all, when you hear the beat is like some real like wicked type shit, like some stepping into the darkness type shit, like one of them, like a wild fight scene in a movie or a scary movie, some shit you can play like in you could use this in the score of a scary movie. So it's like a scary movie score with a little hip hop splash to it. Bad motherfucker though. I gotta finish it, but it's a bad motherfucker. So when I finished making the beat, I looked up under the table, I was like, yeah, that boy that is coming through heavy. But So we can stick with the St. Patty's Day as well, like this. And like I say, St. Patrick probably wasn't even an actual guy, because the whole story is symbolic, as a symbol, as a symbol, a story of symbolism or whatever. I never did I ain't did the breakdown on the words yet, but even the word may be somewhat of spiritual, but the word Patrick, but yeah, so we here on St. Patrick's Day. We're gonna do a little something. First and foremost, the Lee is still relevant because St. Patrick's Day dealing with Our Fair Lady Paris. P-A-R means, on one hand, it means and you take a Kemet, it's a masculine deity. And then, but par also means house. Par, P-A-R, par, Isis. Or you hear the word par excellence, and whatever. But I-S is Isis. Par. That's why the P-A-R is house. House of Isis. This is what I'm telling y'all about the money thing. Money is green because it deals with prosperity and abundance, and that was always a color of, before money even came into fruition as we know it. Green was already a color of prosperity, so that's why they dyed it green, or chose the color green and gold or whatever, gold coins and stuff like that. Gold, the gold light of the sun, is what makes the green prosperous, because you need the light of the sun. That's why I see why I always see sometimes. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all about the Luke Combs song where he was saying the little things. One of the little things for me is like, I love, some rainy days can be cool too, don't get me wrong, but I love clear blue sky days, or even with some white clouds, it's cool too. But sunny days, I like to look at the trees and see that slight yellowish glow, green and yellow glow off the backdrop of the blue sky. One of my little things I like. Or the grass, they look golden early, especially early in the morning. That early morning glow that comes off of the grass or whatever. That greenish gold glow. But the green, that's why Osiris is a god of deities. Even go back to what we were talking about, I forgot the guy. One of the 8 immortals, who was the one that he was a gardener, and he was saying he was slightly insane. That's the chaos. That's referring to the chaos. And the chaos is within all of us. Because just like I told you before, when I peeped that they was one of the things they were trying to run on me was make people think I was crazy. So when I started speaking, people, because that's a tactic. People try to make people think you crazy. So when you start speaking, your words won't be taken as serious as they should be taken or accepted or whatever. So but what I said was, I ain't no crazier than the rest of you motherfuckers. We all got a slightly insane side of us or whatever. And you think I'm lying? Like I say, which deals with one of the 80 mortals as well. Go without food and water and shit for a while, or lack that shit, or don't have an adequate amount of that shit at one point in time, and you'll see where that shit drives you. It's all about you not being able to let it blow you. That's why I say I don't condone stealing and robbing and shit like that. But there are some people that get pushed to that point, may find themselves pushed to that point, not because they're being greedy or they're just trying to be reckless, but if you've never been to the point to where you almost feel like you're gonna die because you ain't got nothing to eat, you don't know what the fuck they're trying to push you to do. I ain't been to that point yet. I'm not that close to that point, but I've been fucked up to the point where you be like, what the fuck is going on? It'll change your mind. I don't know how sane you think you are. But me personally, I just try to go hard and try to get a job or something before I steal this shit or whatever. Cause I ain't, like I said, we did that shit growing up. We just steal gum and shop the store and sell it. Like I say, this shit is, most of this shit is took it from us anyway and built. A lot of these companies and shit was built off of the back of us anyway. So we been doing them going and I ain't never robbed nobody before, but before I just stealing gum and shit and candy out the store, thuggy shit, going back and selling it at school and whatever, but he was a gardener, which ties into the day or whatever. But the chaos too as well is because when you the gardener, Osiris, green god, florist god, vegetarian or vegetable god, because he represents the energy that's created between the intermingling of the sun and the green crops of life that we need. That he represents the energy that causes the crops to grow so that we can nourish ourselves. So he represents nourishment or whatever. The gardener. The insane part would be he gets cut into 14 pieces. The insanity is the separation. Remember, the key is when you're dealing with the Kabbalion, it tell you the key is more so about trying to find the commonality amongst the things in the world. Recognizing that there are differences or whatever, but it's more so about trying to find the commonalities amongst, especially with people or whatever. That's how you learn how to become one. Because the things that focus more on the things that you have in common as opposed to the things that you don't have in common. Because the more and more you start to feel like you not in common with something, the more and more you you're prone to combat that or end up in a quarrel with that or whatever. So but we were still dealing with the purse, same thing. The purse is the Isis, and Paris is the same house of Isis. The earth is the house that the energy of the sun shines down in and souls itself into and lives in. So it's the house. That's why the women are the caretakers of the house primarily, and the men go out and get the money or whatever and bring the energy back. All shit I came up with in my mind when I was in jail. I didn't read this nowhere. And I'm telling you this not to say I'm just a big bad motherfucker. I'm telling you this because you want to think to these, you want to ponder on these type of things so you can come up with your own shit and be like, you know what, come up with some breakthroughs of your own and say, well, I came up with this without somebody. Now, don't get me wrong, little bits and pieces of knowledge leads you to certain things, but then you can put these things together and come up with your own breakthroughs and be able to say, just like I was telling y'all about how I came up with the fact, how the consciousness of the mind represents the energy of the sun, and the emotional body of the person is the water. When you focus or shine your light down on a particular emotion with enough intensity, it will cause a precipitation, and you will emotionally cry tears of joy or tears of happiness or tears of pain or whatever, or whatnot. So, but nobody told me that. I just came up with that. I put through different, same thing with this. But it's crazy because I said this and then I heard somebody else say it when I got out of jail. I was like, that nigga on the same shit, he see it. But that's why you put the money in the purse. Because the money in the purse opens up like a womb, or a bag opens up like a womb, whatever. Flowers. I just noticed this the other day. I was picking some flowers. When the sun is out, they open up. I don't know if it's all flowers, but the little yellows, I don't know the name of them, but they open up, and then when the sun go down, they close back in. They close back up. They close back up because there's no more sun till the next day, so they open back up when the sun come out, so receive the energy. But we're gonna dedicate this one to Aaliyah, of course, because in all the feminine energy of the world, all the women of the world, because just like with elite, Notre Dame means Notre Dame means Dame means woman. Notre Dame means our fair lady, or the great mother of Isis or whatever. The great mother is the dark. The great mother is the abyss, the darkness of space, the greatness of the unlimited darkness of space. And the earth is the mother too. The earth is the daughter of the great mother because the earth is born from out of the darkness or out of the womb of the darkness. So that would be the mother of the well, but it's be like the daughter as well because the earth gives birth to plant life and all that. As well as the same way a bird or a cow would feed its young off of its breast, we feed off of the earth as children of the earth as well as children of the sun. Springtime, best time to go out. I advise you to go out and partake of this sun for this March, April, and May till it gets unbearable. When you got a chance to get out, walk, you gotta get back into sun worship. When I say sun worship, I'm not talking about, but even when you get on your knees and stuff, that's, getting on your knee, praying comes from get barefooted. Like, I'm gonna show y'all some shit. One thing I found myself doing this even before I got locked up. I had a habit of when I lay down, you know how the yoga people, when they do yoga, they put one leg, they take the bottom of one foot and put it up against the knee and do the little thing to make it look like a fold. I used to do that without even trying. It's natural out. A lot of times I get in the bed to this day. But I'm saying I did it before I got locked up because this is before I even knew anything about yoga and all this shit. I used to just get in the bed and lay down, and I would do that for some reason. But it all makes sense because you go read get the Sambo video, Buddhism. I'm heavily involved with the Buddhism thing on a spiritual level. So I was doing that. That's why I say when I tell y'all we do things based off of ancient memory or that has something to do with us from ancient lifetimes. So although at that time I knew that I wasn't into Buddhism and all that shit, I was still doing it haphazardly or without thinking about it because it's in my genetic memory bank. Another thing I do, you know how Muslims makes a lot? They be like, they do this right here. Now this is as of the last past 4 or 5 years, I would say. Maybe 6, 7 or something like that. But I found myself not thinking about it and then like, okay, let me do what the Muslims do. No, I found myself, when I be in the shower, water worshiping. And worship just means adoration, adoring. Look it up. Now you got other definitions of it where they get into the but the word has been taken out of context. So if I said I worship you, you'd be like, oh, you need to bow down and kiss my ass and all this shit. But if I say I adore you, you wouldn't take it like that. But it's the same thing. When I say you worship a deity, it's basically saying you adorating the God or you're adoring that deity. You put up an altar and you setting up, just like we're going to dedicate it to Oris and Oris, as well as the Aaliyah, because she's still her middle name is Dana. When you're dealing with the Irish, you're dealing with the Tuata Dana or the Tuata Dana. The Tuata, that's the womb. That's why you call it. See, you ask the regular street nigga, what's a twat? Yo, that's some pussy. And, but you like, well, why do we call twat pussy twat? You be like, they wouldn't know what to tell you. I know what to tell you. The twat is, see, you say that in school, you'll get in trouble and shit. I gotta go drain my twat. Write them up or write her up. But we come from a time where that was just a word thing. It was just no different than saying vagina. Same thing. But the twat, the two-eye. Boy, I thought I had my. Well, okay. Let me pause this. All right. Yeah, the twat. This is the twat. The two A is the center. You got the big A, and then the lowercase a would be the little part right here. So when you see a little a, that's dealing with the smalls. The big A would be the glory, the big Osiris. Osiris represents, A is sacred to Osiris. So that's the big A. See it? And then a little a would be that part, and the little dots will go, the little dots are like. The two represents the two. The two, the A, and the T, the twat. The twat. When this goes up, all that light will be going through that the same way solar phallic energy goes through a womb. And then when the sun comes back down, boom, this becomes the womb, and all this goes up. And then when this gets right here and blows off the top, it's like the sun coming out of the womb, but actually it'll be the woman or the earth coming off of the twat, and the sun stays right there. The Tuata, Tuata Dana, the dawn, dawn being an Adonis means glory or beautiful. That's another name for the sun or whatever. Adon is the sun. Adonis, is would be Adon, Adon the sun, and Isis, the son and the daughter, the son and the mother. The son, the Horus sits on the knee of Isis, Adonis. The Tuata Dana, the dawn of On, the dawn of On. The On is the light of the sun at dawn. Tuata Dana. Dana, and I can get into some other Norse mythology. I think I'm gonna say that for the book with Baby Girl, cause Baby Girl bad motherfucker. I think it's a game. I'm gonna end this little series right here, but I'm double back. Just trying to decide if I should say something for the book or what, yeah. But we're gonna kick this off 90s style with Oris and Oris. Give a big shout out to Kiki Shepherd, man. I just heard she passed. Kiki Shepherd, the Earth, Kiki, double Earth, the double Earth. The Shepherd is Osiris. This is bad Shepherd, good bad, but she passed. She made the transition, so shout out to Kiki. But grew up in the 90s. You know the biggest shit ever. On Saturday night was Apollo. Showtime at the Apollo. Apollo is a form of Osiris. They rub in the wood to come out for good luck. That's the tree. Even the faggot, I found that too, to back up my thing when I was telling you about how faggot really means. I was telling you about the tree and the bark and all that. Faggot. Go on Wikipedia and put it Fagus. Faggots. We ain't talking about all the jokes and shit out the side. We talk about science now. Faggots. We're not talking about gay people and shit. With faggots, faggot, that's a tree, but I mean tree bark. I gotta find my notes on that shit. But the faggots, put in faggots. Faggots, wood. I gotta look it up. It's some deep shit today. But anyway. But yeah, the Sandman, sleep. Sandman is the Mr. Sandman. Bring me a dream. Sleep, the Osirian realm. Sand, the sand of Saqqara. Kiki Shepherd, the good shepherd. Osiris, the good shepherd. So Kiki being the earth, Osiris being the shepherd of the earth. Goddess, off the rip stir. So peace to Baby Girl, man. Still, and was looking good. I seen her like 2 years ago, but still looking good. I think she passed of a heart attack, if I'm not mistaken. But still looking good. For like, I think she was 74 when she passed. Still looking good. Okay, you from the 90s, you know Kiki Shepherd was that one. God damn it. That other bag. Now my jam off. So shout out to Kiki, man. Kiki. Ki means the earth. Ki, I know. The key, I knew the key is the earth. The I knew is the dark waters of the earth, of the heaven realm, of the earth and heaven. I knew. Because knew was the darkness of space, and Osiris knew. Ki, I knew. That's why they use him to play the mate in the Matrix. Neo, because his name lined up with it. But shout out to my girls Iris and Oris. Now, I'm gonna get into them a little later. I want to read this in honor of St. Patty's Day or St. Tupac's Day. Show you niggas something. Now, I thought this was Pac. So y'all think it's a game. I'm gonna wait till Friday. I'm gonna stick to I said I was gonna wait till Friday. I'm gonna wait. And when this shit done got real. Nigga, I'm talking about these motherfuckers is coming through and jamming shit up. Spirits. Well, I want to say, I gotta say that for the book, though. I'm telling you that when I said the son of Aaliyah Shakur, that is a real thing. Like I said, I did that just off of my old hip hop mind and shit, but that's a real thing. Like I didn't know that. That was just some shit. I was putting it together as a mixtape concept. I never seen them do anything together, but I thought that it would be dope if they did. One of the dopest in the rap game and one of the dopest in the R&B game. And this generation don't really know how dope she is because they suppressed that. And they made it to where, see, the whole scandal was so that even after she passed, people would be kind of reluctant to bring her up when it comes to the greats because of the scandal. Because you bring her up, then R. Kelly thing come up. That's why they kept beating him down. Because you got to bring that up, and that's a touchy subject. And so just bringing her up in those circles, that's what that was for. All that was an attack. But Iris and Oris, before we get into this, let's say that you want to get with them, you want to make an altar of them, get you a cabinet or something wood, dresser or something like that, a book stand or something, cover it with clean it up good, sage it out or whatever, sage it up real good or whatever, Palo Santé or whatever you do to cleanse your magical stuff. Drape some green or gold, green and gold. Make the color thing green and gold because Iris and Oris, that's Iris is she's a gardener too. That's a green goddess. Iris and Oris, those are two plant that's dealing with the floral, the green and the gold. But green and gold, put you some type of flowers on there. I don't got the flowers right now. I was picking them the other day. When I do the next video, I'll show you. Would probably be a good, but any kind of flowers or whatever, or plant life, decorate it like a little garden, make it like a little garden or whatever. Of course, put a picture of Iris and Oris, both of them. They was twins. Put that up. And if you drink, get you some of this right here, Dr. Bombay Sapphire, bad motherfucker. They got different kinds. I like the vapor infused kind. That's the kind I still got a little sip in it. My little temporarily pour in it, take a swallow that. But I got some of this last year, the year before last. I think it was last year. This is London Dry Gin, vapor infused. They got something that's cheaper, but it's not vapor infused. I would advise you get the vapor infused. This is bad, motherfucker. I like the bottle too. Hand selected exotic botanicals. See, that's the thing with Iris and Oris. They botanical girls. Shout out to 702, man. Like, where my girls at? Well, now I'm telling you, I miss them girl groups and guy groups. But I understand why they don't have that many. They don't really have no more because it's hard to split. The money in the music industry is already drying up. If they're trying to just split that shit 3 and 4 and 5 ways and 6 ways and shit, it just brings. It would probably be good for people to make bread on their own as solo acts. If they come together, so that the group project will be more so of a fun type of thing where they gotta worry about the bread because you're making bread on your own shit. But trying to split that shit 5 or 6 ways is always gonna be. That's why you always hear breakups, and that's why the groups never hard. Not saying they always break up, but that's why there's always drama with groups and shit. If it ain't the ego and some I want to be the man and shit, it's some. Well, I'm getting less money, and this is always some shit. But now I got this. Now you not knowing, just drinking. And one day I pouring the shit up, and I looked at the side of the bottle, and look what I found. First and foremost, my sister Cassie. This was just all the shit that it just infused with. Juniper berries from Italy, lemon peel from Spain, coriander seeds from Morocco, angelica root from Saxony, Oris, Irish root from Italy. So, Oris, I think is a derivative of Iris, or Iris is a derivative of Oris, or something like that. But put it in the Wikipedia. That's why we got this shit now. That I didn't know this shit until after. I said, well, ain't that a bit? So that means they led me to get this. Good shit. I can't wait till I can afford some more. I'm going to give me some of this shit. Fucking juice. Orange juice. Bombay, Sapphire, Indian shit. But pour them some shots to this. Pour one to her. Get your shot glass. Pour one to her. Pour one to Oris or whatever. Put the pictures up. And especially if you in the garden, you grow your own fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. That'll be a good thing. They'll guide you to certain things you should grow or get into. Get on if you're on your green thumb shit or whatever. Good shit. I like the bottle too. That's bad, motherfucker. I had a bad. Sometimes you had to double back this shit. I had a bad experience with gin when I was a youngster. I ain't fucked with it since. But I blamed the gin. But it wasn't the gin, it was me drinking on an empty stomach. If I would have, I threw the shit out, I ain't fucking with that gin no more. That's how we blame shit on other some shit, but it'd be us. I had to get back on the gin through this. And I ain't fucking with no cheap gin. Like, I ain't doing Seagrams and shit like that. Maybe on a bad day, but I ain't even that big on alcohol like that. I can wait for, I'm a weed smoker more than anything, but if I'm gonna drink gin, I'm fucking with some shit like this for the most part or whatever. So, shake the tambourine for my ISIS girls out there, where my girls at. But yeah, man, that 702, you gotta get that album too, no doubt. Big is related. I don't know if they ever kicked it or they did anything with them, but you'll see. I gotta go listen to the album again. I did the science on it, but I kind of forgot it in a minute. But when I get into the Biggie and Pac thing, it'll blend in or whatever. But I gotta read this. I want to do this joint real quick. Let me see something real quick before I get into it. But yeah, man, I'm trying to Irish and Oris. But like I said, last year when I was doing the signs on the name, and the R and L, you can switch that out. So ILS is ill ice, or ill all that is like star or God or whatever. Then you got ice, so that would be Star Isis. I did that, and she led me to go listen to a song, which you need to go listen to. It's by a show called Blind I Can't See. Bad motherfucker. But I put that on, I listened to that. And then after that, mind you, Gardner. Now I played that song with the playlist. But you know how you play something, and then YouTube will play something from that era or whatever, something relative. The next song that came on was "We Be the Illest, the Illest, the Illest." That was her. And them niggas from Houston, they moved to Vegas. I guess when you look at I looked them up. They born in Houston. So but the group, but the dude, I don't think, because right here we had a group called Trinity Garden Cartel. But Trinity Garden, Trinity, the three, Trinity, Neo, the Holy Trinity, woo woo, the Garden, Green Thumb, Iris, Oris, maybe the illest. This is all organic. See, we living in the time of the gathering. This time right here was designated for this golden age. We need, one of the attributes of it is all of the high souls from all lifetimes gathering back up. Even the ones that ain't with us in the physical no more, they still just like Leah and Iris and Oris, Pac, Big. That's why I can sit and tell you story after story of these synchronicities I'm having with them, because they still manifesting their energy on a quantum level through here. Or through us, we are the vessel. So that's why they say they live through us. So what I'm doing is manifesting or showing and proving how they live through us. Through things like that. Like I said, I got these. I didn't know Iris and Oris. I just got this shit. I've been looking at it. The bottle. Let me grab me some of that. The body, I would say, Three Sisters. London dry gin. You can use this for healing. London dry gin and Canadian whiskey or some kind of whiskey. I think what's that whiskey used to say? Anyway, whiskey, but it's the Three Sisters. I think it's Otisa, Shayola. I can't remember. Three sisters, two spiritual sisters, but they one represented fire, one represented water. See, Aaliyah's a fire goddess. All this, they all know everything, but Otisa, Shayola, and I can't remember the other one. But you can use it for, that's why I got it. And they said it gotta be London dry gin. Best kind is London dry gin. And, whiskey or whatever, Canadian whiskey or something like that. American whiskey. Some shit he said it was whiskey, Canadian. I know for sure, but Canadian whiskey. But I didn't know that. So and then the other side is so that was the three right there. 90s girl, seems about the 90s girl energy, because you got Iris and Oris, and then on the other side you got Cassia Bark. That's my sister Cassie. That's her name, whatever. Cassia Bark. I just got to tell you about the bark tree, the faggots. No homo. Put that in there for your newbies. But we get her grains of paradise from West Africa, Kubeb berries from Java, Cassia Bark from Indochina, almonds from Spain, and licorice from China. That's all the stuff is infused with. Good shit, man. I'm shit my mouth watering just thinking about this shit. And it's a nice, smooth taste. It ain't all overbearing and shit. I sound like a fucking liquor connoisseur or something like that. So, but yeah, man, get you some of that, man. Like I say, pour that up. Hit them off with some fruits or something. Some tell you some type of meat or something different or whatever. Or you find out, their favorite food or something they like eating while they was down here, or like the girls, they homies, the group members, whatever. Y'all might know some stuff that they liked in particular as far as food wise. But if you don't, you can't go wrong, because like I said, they garden energy, Osiris and Isis energy, so can't go wrong with fruits and vegetables, some kiwi or mango or peaches or grapes or something. And just see what happened or whatever, and meditate and see how they come through or whatever. See what happened. Do that and just see what happens, and look for stuff to happen that will relate to that energy, some type of the garden energy or R&B, everything that they are of or that relates to them throughout your day, or throughout when you do that, start seeing how things around you happen in relation to that. So, good shit, man. I wouldn't lead you wrong. So yeah, that was what I was looking for too. Iris is a goddess, a rainbow goddess too. That's why I got my joint at. So we got a baby girl right here. I think they were named after their grandmother. I think the grandmother name was Oris. And they was going out, and I think the mother or the father, I can't remember which one, but I think the mother or the father, one of their mothers was named, I think it was named Iris. They was going to name the daughter, they had a daughter that was going to name it after the grandmother. But they ended up having twins. So they named them one Iris and one Oris. They both vowels. The I, this is the I, or the I. Like when all that goes up and this right here, you have this at the bottom and that dot here will be an I, but then you can get the capital I, because the earth tilts this way and that way, so it'd be like drawing a line. So when it tilts that way in the creation process, it'd be like drawing a line this way. Then when it tilts that way, it'd be like drawing a line that way. Same thing at the bottom. So that's the I and the O. So she's a beautiful, shown as a beautiful woman carrying a staff. The staff would be the backbone or the spine. Yeah, man. Rolling the field. Let me finish. Let me read this. We're gonna get into some mental, the Irish mental. Now I might have to start this on the next one, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I start already, but the mental. So we're dealing with this is ancient Egypt light of the world, by the way. So we're dealing with the Irish Amenta, the version of Irish of the Amenta, Ireland. Amenta, you got Amen, which means the hidden. Ta means land. That's dealing with your fairies. So these fairies and gnomes and all that shit. David the gnome. I don't know if y'all probably know about that. That was Nickelodeon shit that was when I was growing up. They had Maya the Bee, David the gnome. You know about Tinkerbell and shit, Peter Pan and the fucking the fairy kingdom and all that. Those they exist in trees and stuff too, but we got so bogged down and became so corrupt that once upon a time they were more nobody's saying this golden age, and I've seen some very gnome type shit happen, so I know it's real. I've seen shit moving, seen them moving shit or whatever, and you would think there's some good music, but the more we got more bogged down and more corrupt, because the reason why the world been fucked up so long, it was destined for the evil to run this shit for, just like now we're going into an era where evil is vanquished for good to a certain degree. Now y'all have a bullshit here and there, but overall, evil has been shown that it's not a good energy to run the world on. So that's what the golden age is about. Horus coming back and vanquishing the evil shit forever. Overall, and it'll always be, like I said, in the absolute, because you're gonna always have, everybody gonna always have good time, ups and downs. That's just the swing of the pendulum. Bad days, good days. You know, stub your toe here, and this might happen and shit. Everybody always had their personal tribulations, but trials and tribulations. But it ain't just me talking, wishing. I'm telling you shit based off of. If I can tell you I'm Christ, I have to tell you what all comes with that, or what all that ensues, or whatever. So that's what it comes with. It ain't just me coming here beating my chest. I'm ushering in a new age with this information. That's why I have such a different thinking pattern than everybody else. Because I have to usher in the new shit. Not just me, but I'm a forerunner. That's what being Christ is about. Once I show and prove to you who I am, and you get that, it becomes easier for the world to take what I say and run with it. I'm not saying everything. We all make mistakes and shit. I might have to come back and say, I was wrong about that, but it was this and this, that, and the third. But overall, this is about you have a thorough reference point for shit. So you can check information based off of, you might hear some shit somewhere else, or if you, or maybe if you are fortunate enough to be around me, because I'm not some absentee landlord tucked off somewhere hiding and shit. I ain't around. They just like everybody else though. So, but those that are fortunate enough to be around me, but it seems like the closer I get, the people I'm around in my daily life act like this shit don't even exist. I don't know if they watch me or not. It ain't one person. It ain't shit, man. There's only like 2 people, maybe 3 I can name that actually came and say, "Man, I've been watching your shit, boy. You on your point. You on your shit." 2 or 3 shots. Yeah. Everybody else, I don't know what the fuck going on. I tell them, "Man, go watch me, check me out. I got you. Then we get back and they never say, I thought that was cool or nothing. They act like it never happened. Wait, you know what? I don't know. It's weird, but you can. I'm a good source of information when it comes to the spiritual shit. I know my shit, so you can come to me and be like, "Man, somebody said this, or I read this. What you think about that? Or you know what this means?" And I can give you a third. And if I don't know, I tell you I don't really know, but this is why I see it, or maybe this or that. But a mentor, or you can look. You see what I'm saying? We are sophisticated people. Amen means hidden. Ta means land. So the fairy world is hidden not only in trees and the grass and plant life, but it's in you too. That's why staying hydrated is a big deal. Because when you dry it out inside, you drying out the fairy energy and all the nymphs and shit that's inside of you. You got water nymphs and shit. Same way you have that activate come online to help you attract. That's what melanin is about. Melanin attracts. So when you're trying to deal with the law of attraction or whatever, you have to keep your melanin functioning right via hydration so it can do what it do. Plus the microcosmic organisms. Sampati. That's an eagle too. I don't know if I read it, but it was the eagle god or whatever, which is like one of the great birds. The eagle, the hawk, the falcon, and all those are considered high birds. That's why they use a representation of Horus. They represent Horus, or they represent freedom, free of the dome. I say freedom. This is about freedom, but not freedom as I'm just. Well, I can go out here and just slap the shit out of somebody, and I'm free. No, free the dome. Free your mind. The rest will follow. Free your mind. Don't be so shallow. Yes, and birds keep flying by the window. They must know it's jumping. Gotta keep on flying by. But I seen a bird. Some shit happened the other day. I'm probably gonna hold that. But I seen a bad boy. This shit is real. When I say it's real. Trust me. But then you got Mensa, the you got is the first words hum, then the first sounds emitted in the earth or whatever, or in the world. And that's because all this was created in silence. So when you get to this, when the light's set up and all this is all silent, and all this goes up, then when this comes down, hit that drum, it's boom, and that's why when niggas meditate, be like, because that's the AM, the or even when you're talking, you be like, I'm trying to, you know what this means? You be like, that's why you do that, because you're going back to the essence or the original sound. A-U-M, So when they just fall, hit the drum, boom, the bell, then this goes up. N, the A-M, the E-N, N, the N, I-N, the fairy, like all the life inside, mental, because the mental is the underworld, the inner world, the underworld under the earth, as well as so mental is the inside. That's why I say, take me on a journey through the center of your heart. Or when that's why you got to do the shadow work or the inner work, or you have to work on the inner self. So people say shadow work, you're dealing with subconscious mind work and inner work, or the work of the inner self. That's what I was telling you about when I'm telling you jail stories. Like when you go to jail, it's cool to hang out because you don't want to you want to be social too. You don't want to just turn into a total recluse and then lose your ability to socialize, because when you come home, you have to socialize to make a living. That's where the people that we call quote unquote nerds, that's what kind of hinders. That's why they always attract bullies and or kind of come out awkward, because ain't nothing wrong with being socially selective. But you don't want to be too quiet. You don't want to be too in the dark, because you'll be too dark. You want to have you can be standoffish to a certain degree, because it's good to be like that. Know when to be like that in certain situations, because you might be in a social setting where it's not valuable for you to be chopping it up with everybody in the mix with motherfuckers. You end up guilty by association or some shit, or anything. So you have to have a sense of discernment. But the inner work, like I was saying, niggas in jail. I had my Filipino partner. He's always come ask me questions, and which is cool. But the one day I had to tell him, like, bro, I said, you gotta learn how to answer your own questions. I was like, I can only go so far with you. You have to learn how. And this is just about life shit. This wasn't even about, deep medical, because he wasn't even into this type of shit. It's just certain shit in life or whatever that was going on with him. And I was like, man, certain shit you have to, I can come and give you a few nuggets, but you gotta learn how to go in and get them answers from the inner self as well. That's why inner work is important, to learn how to deal with it. That's why I can tell you shit that ain't nobody's. I can say the sun, the mind is the sun, and when it shines hard, when it shines hard enough, or you concentrate intensely enough on a certain emotion, which is emotion is the water. The moon controls water. The moon also has sway over the emotions of people. Emotion, ocean is in the word. E-M, ocean. Ocean. All that is, all that comes from the inner self, just based off of, you read outer shit, but outer shit draws out the inner. That's why education means to draw out. Education comes from the word educare. It means to draw out. So when you learn shit from the outside, you learn new information and take it in, but it's also supposed to draw out new shit. You're supposed to, in the nation of God's earth, we call that adding on, or building. Build or destroy, you're supposed to add on. So a nigga be like, yeah, now add on, God. And you're supposed to take what I just said and show how you see it and add on and whatever. And that's how you build. If I say something, I drop the signs of the day, or the initial signs. Okay, that's the foundation. Well, how do you see it? To make that better, you're supposed to take that and build on it. Well, you know what, you're right, because I thought about this the other day. I seen that, and that relates to what this is. Ooh, that's called building. And destroying the negative, destroying the falsehood. Okay, get the shit that ain't right. Even if it comes from getting rid of the shit that ain't true, or the falsehoods. So even if it's some shit that came from you, you'd be like, I thought this, I was wrong. That's destroying. Get that out the way. Okay, now put the positive education always creates, positive education always corrects error. Building and destroying. Positive education always correcting error is destroying, because you're destroying the error and replacing it with the positive information, or the positive education, or the plus of the truth. So in also is inundation. Inundation means to flood. E-N or I-N, E-N-U-N-D-A-T-I-O-N, inundation. When this where the great flood of the deluge comes in there. All that water that's flooded in the pockets down here, mixed with the water that's dripping off of the moon, because when Earth passed through the moon while it's still attached to the Earth, that heat is causing water to drip from out here. While the sun is falling, it's water falling too with it, because of course when ice comes in contact with heat, it melts. So even though the sun is directly touching the moon because it's coming straight through that hole through the middle, the flanks of the moon is feeling that heat and the water is dripping out. That's part of the flood. That's the out of the flood coming from the top. Then when this hits, boom, and then this comes up, the water that's in these pockets down here, as the earth passes, each one of these are being forced through that fire, that water is melting and rising up. Spring water is shooting up. Irrigation, inundations, that's causing the flood. And then by the time the earth gets to its orbit, everything gets leveled off, just like when the flood happened. And then once the couple days after the flood, everything levels back down. When the earth gets to its orbit, everything levels back out. And you have balance, or on the square, or the equinoctial, the equinox, the equal. Man, I want to, this fucking laptop is so wacky. I had to go upload this. I gotta go upload this shit, but I want to do another video. But last time I tried to do 2 in a row, some weird shit started happening. I don't know, but I'm gonna just be safe about it. That'd be throwing me out though, cause I gotta walk to go upload this shit. So it throws me off. It kind of throw my timeline off, but it's still early, so it ain't nothing. I'll just do that, come back and get right back to it. But anyway, we'll give y'all a little bit of this. So this is the Irish Mensa. So in the land, Ta means land. So the drum going into the interworld, or to the inner earth as it goes up, it's entering the inner world, sinking into the inner world, and actually it's not. The sun is staying fixated right here, but that force is pushing up here, pushing this up to this part here, ends up right here, and then it blows off. So that's the sun entering the core of the earth, or entering the core of the top, or the land. A Mensa. So we start right here. The Irish Mensa. Anyone who cares to become familiarly acquainted with the Camite mythology and the scenery of a Mensa can have little difficulty in recognizing the source of the ancient British and Irish legendary lore. Arthur, which is funny too, because my mama, that's how I know some divine shit. My mama, one of her, the dude she ended up with after she left my old man, name was Thomas. Twin, Mass back. I was telling y'all earlier, Mass. Sam is Sam for, but Mass. Sam backwards is Mass, Master, Messiah. So that would be a positive backwards. It's the scrambling of the words. Amsu, A-M-S. Amsu is the version of Horus with the whip, A-M-S. And well, there'd be a U on it, but A-M-S, AMS, but Thomas. Then she got with a nigga named Bobo. Sam Bo. Then the other dudes, the dude after that she got with, his name was Arthur. Her. That's another version of King Arthur is just another version of Horus. Her. Her being Horus, Art. Art means, one of the things art means is soul, or the manifestation of soul. Her. Soul, Horus is the soul. The soul is represented by Horus, the small spark, the baby. This is a true story. Pobo had a nephew named Tadpole. Go back to Mad Max. You see the tadpole represent a sperm cell on the goddamn wall where your boy was at. In more than Joe. And Joe, the reason they call him Joe, what they were trying to tell you in code was Joe. They call him Joe because Joe means black. You got a movie called Joe Black. But what you call coffee, black coffee, Joe. Immortan Joe Black. Morton Salt, Joe Black. That's I tell you, the salt higher up, and when this goes up, when the pineal gland or Oris goes up, that light going up, meeting with the melanin right here, all this is the center though, that pressure creates a white fine sand or white salt coming down here into the creating the 7 petrified chakras down here, or the 8 pack, the dried out chakras or whatever. That's why more Joe represented dehydration, and he was bird feeding the water to the people instead, because he represented dehydration, soot, 8 pack, negation, desert. That's why he's a desert king. We'll stop right there. Let me upload this shit.